Okay, so this is my here. Okay, so this is Matt Brooks here with our fourth podcast, and it's kind of for my Slaying Giants ministry, but kind of just for Alright, this is Matt Brooks here with our fourth vlog podcast, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, today this one's been a hard one. It's been really hard to focus today to get this one going. I felt like sometimes it's a lot like life. You feel like you're bumping along, you feel like everything's going great, like the right song's playing on the radio, you're having a stellar day, like everything seems to be perfect. Today was like the opposite of that, where everything just kind of felt off. Kept forgetting stupid things. I was having trouble even focusing on this vlog thing. I was really experiencing a creative block, which sometimes happens. I'm working with a video client. It's a great client, and this project is like 95% done. But that 5% that's left to do is kind of just really frustrating to figure out like how I'm going to get this done. And sometimes that's a lot how life can feel like for you. Like you feel like 95% of it, I'm killing it, but that 5%, that really important 5%, that's the difference between success and failure. You kind of just feel like you're really off with. And the Bible teaches us to not worry about these things. The Bible teaches us not to worry about what we're going to eat, what we're going to drink, and basically like it doesn't do anything to add anything to your life by worrying. If anything, it shortens your life. But the question is, what do you do when you feel that way? What do you do when anxiety builds up? What do you do when you're frustrated and you don't feel like you're killing it in life and you kind of just feel like things are not going the way that you want them to go? Sometimes you got to just take a breath, think about all the things that God has done in your life. And even as I'm doing this, this makes me feel better just thinking about how many times that God's done really awesome things in my life. And even today, his provision and the things that he's helped me with. And just for having a breath and being able to like do things and being able to get out of bed, like that's an awesome praise too. I know sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you don't feel like doing any of those things. Sometimes you feel like the whole world's just a mountain of stuff that you have to try to overcome. But the good news, the real good news you can trust, that's not some kind of fake whatever news that they want to tell you, is that like there's still a lot of good in this world. There's still a lot of good people, and there's a lot of lost and hurting people, and they really need to hear about the good news. And that good news is that God has a plan for your life. He has a purpose. God didn't create you to be garbage. God created you to be a masterpiece, and he created you to be artistic, to be creative, to be hardworking, to love others and be loved. And if you're listening to me right now, like the thing that I had to do a couple of days ago was look in the mirror and say, like, I made you for a purpose. And God was talking to me. He wanted me to look in the mirror and say, I made you for great things. So even when it feels like I'm not doing great things, God doesn't see that. He kind of looks at you like, if you look at like a classic car person, all right, they pull a car out of like a field and they want to restore it, and they see the value in the sheet metal, and they see that finished project, whether it's in their head or it's a sketch of what that classic car can look like. We look at it as someone who doesn't work on cars, like is not an enthusiast like that, and you see a hunk of junk, you see rust, you see something that's past its prime. But God doesn't see that. God sees that that project can be completed, and he sees us as a completed thing. The Bible says that he who starts a work in you is faithful to complete it. So even if you feel like you've got nothing right now, or you feel like you're struggling, like just pray and give God praise and just think about all the things that God has done in your life, and try to focus on those things and try to focus on those scriptures. Meditate on anything that's good, anything that's great. Meditate on love and God's love for us. When you do that, you'll kind of find that it might turn around. And even doing this, I feel a little less anxious. I feel a little better than I did earlier, just getting this podcast out. And I hope that helps some of you guys, because I've had a lot of great days, and January's been pretty cool so far of 2019. But some bad stuff is going to happen, and I know that. But I know even when that does, that God's going to be here for me. And he's going to be here for all of you guys, and he loves you and has a purpose for you. So it's me signing out. Peace.